everybody, welcome back to In The Huddle. I'm Julian Kushner. This is the first real episode. I'm so excited. So today, like I said, every Tuesday is going to be more the technical stuff of sports. So today I'm going to start with football. Why not? And so understanding football, I'm not going to be able to do it all in one video. There's a lot of parts to this, the actual rules of the game, the penalties, who does what. So I'm going to spread this over probably 3 parts. So this is going to be part 1. So we're going to just start with the very basics, what the rules, the basic rules of the game are, what you're trying to accomplish. So first let's start with this. A football field is 100 yards. I'm sure many of you guys know that. It's 100 yards. There's 2 end zones on both sides. At the 50-yard line, that's where the half is. So it's 0 to 50, 50 to 0. Pretty basic right there. All right, your main goal is to score a touchdown, okay? But this game of football has these mini goals, which is called the first down, second down, third down. I'm sure you guys have heard those before, and what do they actually mean? So when you get the ball in football, you're given the ball and it's first down, okay? You have 4 downs to be able to get 10 yards. That's what everything is. So you'll hear first and 10. It's your first down and there's 10 yards to go. Let's say it's first and 10 and I run the ball for 5 yards. So it's going to be second and 5. And then let's say I do 2 more yards. So then it's going to be third and 3. After your third down is fourth down. Yes, you have 4 downs to get there, but if you cannot convert on fourth down, the other team gets the ball. So let's say, like I said, third and 3, I take it for 2 yards, so then it's fourth and 1. If I go for it and if I don't get it, then the other team gets the ball where I was. If I do get it, then I get a whole new fresh set of downs. So then if I convert it, go for it on fourth and 1 and I get 3 yards, then it's going to be first and 10. And we do it all over again. And you do that until you can get to the end zone. Of course, you don't always have to go by 10 yards. You can throw it for 30 yards if you want to. But you're given these little mini sets of rules. You have 4 downs to convert it. And then, if you can't do it on fourth down, that's when there's other options. So like I said, you can go for it. And then you guys might be like, okay, what else would you do if you don't go for it? All right, you can punt the ball. Well, depending on your field position. Let's say you're on your own 30-yard line, okay? You can punt the ball, which is just, I'm sure you guys have seen it. The kicker comes in, kicks the ball downfield, and then the other team gets the ball, and it's usually in, not the best field position. Because if I were to try to convert on fourth down and I didn't get it, then the other team would have really good field position because I was on my own 30. So if I punt the ball, then they get the ball, and then it's their fresh set of downs, and they're doing the same thing to try to score my way. Another option is if you're in field goal range, which is usually the opposite team's 40-yard line to the goal line. Field goal range, I'm sure you guys have heard of the field goal. It is 3 points. So if you kick the field goal, you get 3 points. If you miss it, then it's just kind of you tried to convert on fourth down and you didn't get it. So then the other team would get the ball right there. So like I said, a field goal is worth 3 points. A touchdown is worth 6 points. I'm sure a lot of people think it's worth 7. What you have to do is get the extra point. So the extra point, it's kind of a weird concept, but usually it's a shoo-in. You get the extra point, but we've seen some crazy stuff in football this year where a lot of teams get their extra point blocked. The extra point, it's just an extra point. It's 1 point. That's how touchdowns are worth 7 points. Another way to score is you can get a 2-point conversion. That's in lieu of getting the extra point. So if you don't want to kick the extra point for any reason, just you wanted the extra points, whatever the differential may be in the game, you can go for the 2-point conversion, which is just 2 points. You go from the 2-yard line to try to get the 2-point conversion. If you don't get it, then you don't get any points. So it would have just been 6 for the touchdown. If you got the 2-point conversion, it would have been 8 points. So since we've gone over, the downs, everything like that, scoring, another thing we have to talk about is the beginning of the game, which is where you get the kickoff. So both teams come out to the center of the field and do a coin toss, and either you elect to defer or to receive the ball. To defer means that you would get the ball in the second half. To receive means they kick the ball and you're going to receive it. A kickoff is different from a punt because, like I said, a punt, it just comes from wherever you are in that field position. And usually there's one guy back on the other team to get the punt, receive the punt. In a kickoff, it's always from the same point on the field, and you kind of have your special teams lined up like that, and then the kicker kicks it, and there's usually 2 guys back there for the opposite team. and this field is spread out with players. There's 11 people in the field for every play, but a kickoff is different in the amount of people that they have to be able to bring it back. If a kickoff goes out of the end zone, it would be a touchback, which means that you start at the 25-yard line. If you also catch the ball in the end zone and take a knee, it's also a touchback. If you run the ball out of the end zone and let's say you get tackled at the 2-yard line, that's where you start. You start at the 2-yard line, which is just never ideal. So usually if a lot of people will take a knee in the end zone if they don't think that they can get out as far as they want to. So I mentioned special teams. Special teams is what you call anything when basically the kicker is on the field. So for punting, that's special teams. For an extra point, that's special teams. For kickoffs, that's special teams. Otherwise, we have offensive defense, which I'm sure you guys have heard about. Football is kind of different than just about every other sport in the sense that the offense and defense are two separate teams. So if I play offense, I'm not going to be on the field for defense, and vice versa, which is very different because in a sport like basketball, all the players play offense and defense. It's not the case in football, which is kind of weird and hard for people to understand. There's no reason for it other than that's just the way the game is. So football is 4 quarters. Like I mentioned, there's a halftime. But after each quarter, you flip your field position. So let's say in the first quarter, I was going this way. At the end of the first quarter, I'm going to be going that way. Which I don't know why they do that. It's kind of obnoxious, but we do it anyway. So let's say at the end of the first quarter, I was on the opposite team's 10-yard line, which is over here. At the start of the second quarter, I'm going to be over here. So it just kind of flip-flops. I guess it's to give the teams chances to go both ways. I don't really know why they do that, but they do it. Alright, I don't want to give y'all too much in this first episode, so I'm going to try to keep it simple. Those are the very basic rules of football, both NFL and college. Like I said, their rules are pretty similar. It's the same game being played, same goals. You want to score and you want to get the first down, but it changes as far as minor rules. We will get to next week. We'll kind of talk about what every player does. So we're going to learn about the quarterbacks, running backs, defensive backs, people like that, and what they do. And then this Thursday, we will talk about the big games coming up this weekend, little talking points for you guys, and everything like that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on Thursday.